Everyone wants to be free, but not everyone knows what it means. To some, it means being able to do whatever they want without any limitations or restrictions. But let me ask you this. Are you truly free if your actions are driven by fear, greed, or anger? Are you free if you live in a state of constant worry, anxiety, or depression? True freedom comes from within. It is a state of mind. When you control your mind, you control your life. You become the master of your own destiny. No one can take away your freedom if you don't let them. Yes, there are external forces that try to limit our choices and control our lives. There are people who abuse their power and try to oppress others. But ultimately, we have the final say. We can choose how to respond to external events. We can choose what to focus on and what to ignore. We can choose how to react when things don't go our way. Our life experiences are determined by the meaning we assign to them. What someone says or does doesn't affect us unless we allow it to affect us. Remember, no one can make you feel anything. You are responsible for your emotions. And when you realize this, you become truly free. The first step towards this inner freedom is self-awareness. You must learn to observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment. Pay attention to the patterns of your mind. What are you thinking about most of the time? Are your thoughts positive or negative? Self-awareness is the key to understanding yourself better and becoming more self-sufficient. When you know yourself well, you can use your strengths to overcome your weaknesses. This will help you to believe in yourself again. Many people lose faith in themselves because they don't understand who they are. They don't know what makes them happy or what they want to achieve in life. But when you take the time to explore your inner self, you will find a strong sense of self-belief. You will realize that you are capable of achieving anything you set your mind to. Another important aspect of self-awareness is learning to accept yourself for who you are. We all have both positive and negative traits, but many people try to deny or suppress their negative traits instead of accepting them as part of who they are. By trying to be perfect, we only set ourselves up for failure. We must learn to accept our flaws and imperfections as part of being human. Only then can we be truly authentic and honest with ourselves. This is essential for personal growth because it allows us to focus on improving rather than trying to be something we're not. You cannot improve if you do not accept where you are. Self-awareness also involves recognizing our limitations. We are not all-knowing and we will not always make the right decisions. But when we are aware of our limitations, we can be more forgiving of ourselves when we make mistakes. We can learn from them and move on instead of dwelling on them. When you are self-aware, you are less likely to be influenced by the opinions of others. You won't be so concerned with what others think of you because you know yourself well enough to form your own opinion. This is a big step towards inner freedom because it allows you to live your life according to your own values and beliefs instead of trying to please others. The second step is self-regulation. With self-awareness comes the ability to regulate your emotions and responses. In other words, you have the power to choose how you react to different situations. It's not always easy, but with practice, it becomes easier over time. One way to develop self-regulation is to learn how to manage your stress levels. Stress is a natural response to perceived threats or challenges. However, if left unchecked, it can become harmful to both your physical and mental health. Find healthy ways to cope with stress, such as exercise, yoga, or meditation. These activities can help you relax and focus on the present moment. This will help you to become more resilient in the face of adversity. Another aspect of self-regulation is developing a positive mindset. This does not mean ignoring the negative aspects of life, but rather choosing to focus on the positive. When faced with a difficult situation, ask yourself how you can turn it into a learning opportunity or a chance to grow. This is a powerful way to take control of your life because it shifts your focus from what you lack to what you already have. By adopting a positive mindset, you will be better equipped to deal with whatever challenges come your way. The third step is self-motivation. Motivation is essential to achieving our goals and living a life that is true to ourselves. However, motivation can be difficult to maintain, especially when we are faced with setbacks or rejection. One way to stay motivated is to remind yourself of your why. Why do you want to achieve your goals? How will achieving them improve your life? When you have a clear sense of purpose, it is easier to stay focused and motivated. Another helpful tip is to break down your goals into smaller steps. This will make them seem less daunting and more achievable. Setbacks and rejections are inevitable, but they should not discourage you. Learn from them and keep moving forward. When you self-motivate, you become more proactive in achieving your goals and living a life that is true to your values. The fourth step is self-discipline. Discipline is essential to achieving our goals and living a life that is true to ourselves. However, discipline is often difficult to maintain, especially when we are faced with distractions or temptations. One way to develop self-discipline is to start by setting realistic goals for yourself. Discipline is not about being perfect. It's about making progress. When you set realistic goals, you are more likely to stick to them. Another helpful tip is to find an accountability partner. This is someone who can help you stay on track and keep you accountable when you are tempted to give up. With self-discipline, you will be able to resist distractions and temptations and focus on what is important to you. Lastly, the fifth step is self-forgiveness. We are all human, and we will all make mistakes. However, many of us struggle to forgive ourselves when we do make mistakes. Self-forgiveness is an essential part of self-acceptance. When we refuse to forgive ourselves, we are only hurting ourselves. We are carrying around unnecessary guilt and shame. One way to develop self-forgiveness is to learn to treat yourself with the same kindness and compassion that you would offer to a friend. When you make a mistake, acknowledge it and forgive yourself. Everyone makes mistakes. It is what we learn from them that matters. With self-forgiveness, you will be able to move forward in life with a clear conscience. By following these 5 steps, you can achieve inner freedom. But remember, this is a journey, not a destination. It takes time and practice to become self-aware, self-regulated, self-motivated, self-disciplined, and self-forgiving. But the rewards are worth it. Inner freedom is the key to a happy and fulfilling life. When you are free from the chains of external control, you can live a life that is true to yourself and your values. You can be more resilient in the face of adversity and better equipped to deal with whatever challenges come your way. But remember, the responsibility for achieving inner freedom lies with each of us. No one can achieve it for us. It requires effort and dedication, but the rewards are immeasurable. So take the first step today and experience the freedom that comes with true inner peace. And if you like the content, you may also like another content titled, Why Winners Think Differently. Click here to watch now. And if you found this video helpful, please like it and share it with your friends and family. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.